Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman news gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman news. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go, let's go. Let's start this show. Let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, crew family. Thank you for being here this morning. It is a Friday, November 11th, 2022. It is 7:03 a.m. and I am here with you all as I enjoy being. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for stopping through. We got a jam-packed show, okay? I ain't gonna hold you. We got a jam-packed show. But the crux of this show and the theme of the show today will be, where were the signs? Y'all already know me. Where were the signs? So I want y'all to look out for the signs. Shout out to the crew. What up? I hope y'all having a good Friday morning. I hope y'all woke up on a great side of the bed, ready for some news that you can use. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the moderators. What up? What up, Joe? I see you out there, Joe. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to the moderators. Shout out to the members. I see y'all lit up in green. Ox City 805 Queen. Good morning, Boo. And shout out to the dopest subscribers. Thank you for being here. Kings Mina, that first individual in the building. Happy Friday to you, Kings Mina. Thank you for being here and dropping down first. Now, y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and get me started. It's 16 people here, 17 people here. Please hit that like button because all likes matter over here. And if you are a new subscriber, thank you for being here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. I don't know what you're waiting for. And if you want to show some love, you can always show me some love by sending a cash app, $Roman L. Jackson. All love matters, all support matters. You know, you feed me throughout the day. The other day, I don't know where I stopped, and I said, oh my God, X, Y, and Z just paid for my lunch. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We about to get ready, get started, get into this show. Shout out to the crew. What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's popping? What's popping? Good morning. Oh my God, it is what, the second Friday? It is the second Friday of the month, and we are here. We got what, 2 more Fridays to go, and it's Thanksgiving week. So shout out to the crew. Thank you for letting me roll yesterday. I was so tired. I was so busy. I had so much stuff to do. The day before, I had went into the office, left around 6, had a banquet, event to go to around 6:30. And then I had to come home because my dog had been home chilling the whole day. Give him some time. I was so tired. But thank you all for allowing me to take that little time off. But we back. We got so much stuff to talk about. We're gonna get into the election updates. I'm gonna update y'all on that. We're going to get into the student loan forgiveness program. We're gonna talk about Brittany Griner, though I've already told you all about her. We're gonna get into the black mayor that was punched. And we've already talked about the guy who did it. And that's what's killing to me. Again, what were the signs? We're going to get into the 10-year-old who committed suicide this past Saturday. And it's, again, where were the signs? We're going to get into this Lyft ride situation, a Lyft ride gone wrong. Oh my God. Oh my God. That story right there is a prime example. And the girl, you a badass. We're going to get into DeAsia Johnson, the female in Brooklyn who was dismembered by her boyfriend in what was supposed to be a safe women's shelter, right? With security at the front desk, by the way. Mind you, they didn't find her until a month later, and the guy who did it had been living in her women's shelter apartment. Oh, we gonna get into that. Where were the signs at that fucking housing complex? That's where the signs were. And then finally, y'all, we about to get into the University of Kentucky, and we're about to expose some things on them. Now, it's so interesting. They banned the girl, and now it goes away. Well, do you know they have 8 examples of this same situation that has happened within the last 5 years that has also made national news? Oh, we're going to get into it. We're going to break that down because it's so important to see what happens. And in every one of these situations, y'all, they do the same thing that they're doing to Kyla Spring in this situation, which is quickly quiet it up, throw it away, and now we're done with it in all of these situations. So we're gonna break it down. So we can build a case against the University of Kentucky. And I'm gonna show you in one of our other stories what will happen to these schools when they exhibit this kind of behavior. So let's get into the show. Now, before I begin, I believe I posted this on my community wall, and it was so timely for me. And I was like, oh, let me share this with the crew because it could be timely to you all. Now, I posted this quote yesterday, and it can be applied to today. And it said, "Tomorrow is tomorrow, today is today. Worry about one at a time." And we so often get wrapped up in the shit that's next tomorrow or next week, and we fail to work on the things that's right in front of us and get some shit off our plate that's right in front of us that you can do right now. Do your laundry right now. Don't push it off. You know, go do X, Y, Z right now. And that was something that was so endearing to me yesterday. And I was like, you know what? I gotta share this. Stop worrying about things that you can't do that won't make no impact on you right now in the moment and take care of everything that will impact you right the fuck now. It's so important too. And you do enough of that, you'll see slow progression in your own life. Seriously. And I had to take the time out on my own. So wanted to share that with you all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to you, Kings Mina. Naries, what I saw your comment. Who I was cuddled up with. A little boo thing. I had a crook in my neck, and I was like, I sent a text message like, "Yo, I need a massage. I got a crook in my neck, and here you go. Uh, oh, I bet you gonna schedule a massage." I was like, "No, I wanted you to give me a massage." So got a massage, and well, first it was, "What you gonna do for me?" I'm sitting here looking like, so I replied, "I'll give you a massage back, baby." I got a massage and fell asleep. I fell asleep on this boring ass movie that he was watching. It was boring as hell, so I fell asleep. So it felt good. So that's it. I needed it. I had a whole crook in my neck. Hey Joe, good morning, Marty. Welcome everyone. Good morning on your way in. Hit that like button, share the live, subscribe. Thank you for the support. Cheryl, good morning, boo. Good morning, good morning. It's good to see you. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Ox City 805 Queen. Good morning, boo. And thank you for being a member. Good morning to you. Oh, yes. Let me not forget, happy Veterans Day to all of those who are veterans today. If you got family, I need to reach out to my cousin and let him know happy Veterans Day. It's so important because what we're not willing to do, they are. And they have, and so, or they've signed up, they've conditioned themselves to be on the front lines. We haven't. I haven't. So you need to, show them some love, especially our black counterparts, our black veterans. Show them some love. Give them some shine today. Good morning, Miss Toby, and thank you for being a member. Good morning, Nate. What up, Nate? Oh, I know I always do that. What up, Nate? What up, Joe? Blackberry, good morning, and thank you for being here. Did you see the news about Juan Dixon and Coppin State? No. Is he playing? Is he doing like basketball out there? Let me see what's going on with Juan Dixon real quick. Juan Dixon accused of failing. Baby, baby, not a sexual assault at Coppin State. Is this what we doing now? Between the assistant coach and the student? Oh, he failed to not report sexual misconduct between an assistant basketball coach and a player. Oh, that can be as easily. Oh wow. Oh wow. All right. Oh, fish. Five other situations, son. I told y'all. Now let's all sue them. Oh, and when you see the situations, you're gonna be like, now, hold up, now. And we're covering all grounds from HR, class, culture, everywhere. We got grounds, baby. We got grounds. Good morning, mister. Thank you for coming through. Good morning. Good morning. Crook in your neck. You must have been, yeah, it was a lot going on. Too much. Good morning, Captivating Christian. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's get into it. Got a lot to cover, so we need to just go ahead and get into it. So, Powerball update. Guy won California. Has to actually show who he is. The store owner, he won $1 million. Now, great, it happened. Blah blah blah. This is what I wanted to share with you all. I was reading this right, and it was saying when's the best time to play, so you don't be out here just playing willy nilly. And it says here literally, those who spend $2 on a Powerball ticket might wonder if something is wrong when dozens of drawings pass without a jackpot winner. But this is how the game is designed. That means it's unlikely anyone will win the prize until a growing jackpot attracts more players, because more ticket sales means the lottery can raise more money for public programs, which is the point of state lottery. So next time you see this at a billion, that's when you play. Don't be wasting your money when it's low, low, low. When it gets high, even though you can, if you know you can, I suggest if you want to play this, play when it's high, like what we just did. Your chances are much higher than when it's at its lowest. It's sort of its lowest bracket. All right, now let's get into these elections. I'm only going to cover what I covered last time as an extension of where we are and where we landed. So it was a really, really interesting night. We all thought it was going to be a red wave. It wasn't even a fucking red wave. It was like a color palette wave. Okay, you had ups and downs all across the board. But for the most part, damn, I'm so glad I did that black voting live. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go check that out after this live, because everything I said in there was so dead on. Women led the fucking charge this election season, this midterm election, which is a huge indicator for what's coming up next presidential election. Women, women, women. And this is what happens when you put women issues at the forefront. Abortion, they basically, women was like, no, nigga, we Republican, but no, we saying no. We want to have our own rights to reproductive freedom. So kudos on that. I wanted to give that overall picture. Another opportunity was the black vote. The black vote was significant here. A lot of our black counterparts did win significant races, and we also see a runoff with in Georgia. Here in Arizona, Katie Hobbs, the Democrat, she actually was able to hold on. It was a 70% call, and she won by 50%. It's a 50% slate. It was too early to call, but it was about her 50-50 neck and neck. So and this is all from when I just found some of this stuff this morning. Wisconsin, Tony Evers, hold on. And the key about Wisconsin is if they were to let this Republican governor slide, all of the voting requirements and restrictions that they want to put into place that he was like, nope, as the governor, vetoing it, nope, not going through, will be going through now. So it was key for us to hold on to Wisconsin. We did. Pennsylvania was very shocking. Josh Shapiro, the Democrat, won by 56.1%, which was like a 95% hold. Now, what they're saying is this wasn't a major loss for Republicans in terms of the fact that a lot of people showed up and turned out to support their counterpart, Doug Mastriano. Um, they're saying that how he displayed him being a colonial, all that old, I don't want to be offensive, but that old white male was appealing to the Republican voter base. So they're going to hold on to this guy. And we need to take note. That's what's appealing to that voter base. Then what should we do? Oregon was another one. Tina Cotter. She's become the first openly lesbian to be the governor of this state. 46% of the votes. Georgia, uh, it's definitely Brian Kemp. A huge, I think it was a 7 point lead by the last time I checked, and 95% had called in. Um, Now, what's interesting is that there's a Georgia runoff election. So they're announcing this, and it's on December 6th, and it's against these two, Warnock and Herschel. Now, here go Lindsey Graham. I saw this morning. He out here talking about the liberals and the Democrats are out here trying to shame this man. You can't shame someone who's already shameful. This man is already out here. How many people have come out talking about he's paid for abortions and did all of this and the third? You can't shame the shameful. So what I do expect is that on December 6th, we all showing up. That's what I expect. I think, if anything, we all will show up at that point in time. If there's any race in Georgia that can definitely call everyone to the forefront, this one definitely would, so that Democrats can maintain their stronghold over, I think it was their state legislature with this Republican governor. Next, we had New York, and of course, Kathy Hochul won. 94% call-in, 52% of the vote went her way. Interesting, he played on economy and crime. She started talking up crime. She started talking up the economy, and immigration and all those great things. And so she definitely took it home. New York is a Democratic state for the most part, so I didn't really think that was going to switch. Texas, of course, Greg Abbott, 54.8% of the vote called in and 95% of the voting population. I didn't think it was going to change. Maryland, okay, where I'm residing, Democrat Wes Moore was elected governor in a historic Maryland race. And it's amazing because he's the first black governor of the state and the third black governor in the United States of America. Okay, first in the state, third in America. So, hell yeah, we going up for this nigga. Yes, so is 55, I think 50, what is that? I can't really see it. 59.9% to 37% was called in. So this is a good thing. Now, Maryland State, and the local municipalities always have this thing where we elect the black officials and then years later fraud and crime pops up and all this shit. Sir, please stay steadfast. Please stay steadfast. Let's get into these ballot votes. So abortion rights, California said yes, Michigan said yes, Vermont said yes. Now I told you if Michigan was to say yes in a swing state, the Republicans were going to be like, oh shit, we can't put abortion on the ballot everywhere because even our Republican counterparts are out in Michigan saying we want reproductive freedom. So that was a very, very eye-opening vote. Kentucky said no. Montana said no. Elections and voting, Arizona, Michigan, they want to expand. Arizona wants to expand voting rights to everyone. Ohio said yes to tighten requirements, ID requirements, all that good shit. Firearms. Iowa has voted that they want the right to keep and bear arms. Oregon wanted to increase gun ownership requirements. Marijuana has been legalized in both Maryland and Missouri. And it hasn't been legalized in Arkansas, North Dakota, or South Dakota. Of course. They can't even grow the shit. South Dakota was just like, y'all can grow it and use it in your home, but you can't. They don't want none of that shit. What else was there? And then the other thing that I found to be the most interesting, and I didn't even cover it, was that this whole slavery ban. So there were several states who had the ban on slavery at their ballot box. Now, not all of them were against it. And what they're saying is that people consider prison labor, forced prison labor, when people are sentenced to prison and then forced to do certain work or jobs, that they consider that slavery, and I do too. And so there were Alabama, Tennessee, Vermont, and Oregon. They all agreed that no, We ain't for that shit. Now, guess who rejected it? Louisiana. I said, wow, okay, what a setback for the people. And now, here's the thing. The initiatives on the ballot Tuesday don't force immediate changes in the state's prison, but they may invite legal challenges over the practice of coercing prisoners to work under threat of sanctions or loss of privileges if they refuse to work. So that's basically what's gonna, what's the outcome of this. So now you start forcing folks to work in jail, they get legal representation. You can no longer do that. You have to offer some level of compensation or something like that. So that's in a nutshell what I saw in the elections. I didn't see a complete take hold for everyone, but in some key areas and states, we did our thing. And that's why at the end of the day, your vote matters, whether you believe it or not, because I didn't expect for us to take as much as we did, but we did. And I definitely was participating in the process. So shout out to us, go up for us, always, always be part of the process. Now let's keep it moving. Brittany Griner. So, oh, before I go to Brittany Griner, I do want to touch on this whole Biden student loan program. So, this is getting on my nerves with this Biden student loan program. So, it's been announced that the court strikes down the Biden student loan program. We already knew it was on hold for the several states trying to sue him. Now, this organization called Job Creators Network Foundation, representing two guys who are mad that they don't qualify for this, decided to, take it to court. The court said, yeah, this is unconstitutional. We could see if it was a one-time thing, but you're creating a program with a criteria, with an application process and an approval process. No, 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 no. I don't think the 2003 or something in the 9/11 Act, called for this. So they're asking for it to be struck down. Of course, Biden is going to appeal. People who have applied for it, all applications, all debt relief is on hold for right now until they get some injunction in court. Do I think we're going to see any injunction anytime soon? Hell no. Do I think this will have to go into 2023? Hell yeah. These people, and then the thing about it is, so that's two cases. That's the several states, and now it's this Job Creators Network Foundation. There's about 5 other lawsuits pending in all these other Republican states. It just hasn't trumped up to national level yet. So pay attention. Don't even bet your horses on that. Now, Brittany Griner. So Brittany Griner is being moved to the penal colony. We talked about this, and it's the colony that's far, far away up in those mountains. It take about 2 to 30 days to get there. But here's what I want to talk about. This. So basically what they're saying is that now that all legal procedures have now been completed and that her sentence has officially come into force, now they'll begin the discussions about whether or not we can do a swap. See, I said that. I said they want her to be fully in jail, locked up, behind bars, starting her. I wouldn't give it 2 years. She need to they'll probably consider something after 2 years of her serving time. I think they look at it as pit for pit. You got our people over there serving time, so let her serve some time, and then we'll have the discussion. So, yeah, this is not going to look like we're going to see her anytime soon. This is just my opinion, and I advise everyone to go do your own research. But given what I've seen, what we've reported on, and we talked about, Brittany Griner ain't coming out anytime soon. This is exactly what they wanted. So, now that we got all the political shit out the way, we can get into the show. All right, so baby, I don't know if y'all heard about this whole black mayor being punched, but this black mayor, his name is Wayman Newton. He was punched outside of a council city meeting. Now, here's the thing. We reported on the guy that punched him. We reported on him before. We talked about him because he was the same guy. Now, let me show you this. He was the same guy that did this. Now, we reported back on this back in July. Same guy that did this.
I mean, I know I'm
Do we
black.
have, hey, do we have,
you want to address what I have to say?
do we have a house nigger in here?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Do we? Hey, do we? Would she please stand up?
Y'all are seeing this, right? Camera.
So that happened back in, I think it was July of this year. We reported on the show, and I was absurd, like, bitch, what? Well, here we find ourselves again. So Picture it. 2022, Saturday at a council city meeting. Very tense meeting because they were talking about a couple of things. One, the black mayor was talking about, I need some keys and stuff to the locks in the cities in the building, the to the locks of the buildings. And this guy, I don't even remember his name. He was like, no. He was very tense about it, and he was very tense about other stuff towards his black mayor and his other counterparts. And so after the meeting was over, it was a police officer out there, and police officer talking to the white other councilman. And as the black mayor was leaving and walking up to his car, he called the police over like, hey, he wanted to talk to him. And this next thing we know, this dude hauls off and knocks the holy shit out of the mayor. Check this shit out. And before I show you this video, it may be provoking to some. I don't want it to be provoking to anyone, but this shit happens. This is 2022. I wish you would. See, this is the difference. Grown man to grown man. And then there was a police officer right there. You are bold as fuck. It don't speak volumes of him. It speaks volumes of that community. That's what it does. You're bold as fuck to punch me in front of a police officer because you've been getting away with this shit. And so you don't feel like you're going to be stopped ever. Y'all get into this shit. Now, because it's on mute, I'm going to narrate it because it ain't no audio. So you see the black mayor, he walks up. They're the police officer and the councilman having a conversation. So the police officer, he going to walk over, answer his question, talk to him, and you see the white councilman looking all like, bitch, I'm not talking to you. Why are you inching over here? So he adds his 2 cents into the story, and now we go. So now check this shit out. Knocked. Black guy falls to the floor. I'm sure he cursing, bitch, what the fuck? I swear to God, you better get him. Now everybody walks over. All these police, not handcuffed yet, none of that shit yet. And this is outside the council meeting of the city where everybody sees it. You're representing all these people. This ain't the first time you've done some shit in public. This is now the second time that we reported on. So now you're handcuffed. And now you're on to jail. And this is the situation. The black mayor is recording it on his camera as well. Can you imagine? Here we go. And he don't even understand what the fuck's going on. And so he was booked on a harassment charge. A harassment charge. Booked on a harassment charge. He made bond of $1,000 and he refuses to apologize, and he'll have court next week. And so I said, here we are. And again, why I keep saying, what were the signs? We saw the fucking signs the last time. He should have been voted off. He shouldn't even be on the council. He's already made sure that he's racist. But we got him up here on the council, and now he's punching the mayor. Who's shocked and surprised? I wasn't. I wasn't shocked and surprised at all. I was like, oh, wow. I was more shocked that he did it in front of a police officer. That gave me I'm like, oh, you don't give a fuck about anything. Like, really? You better lay low. Wow. Lord Georgia. King Roman News. Do you think Stacey should end her pursuit of the governorship and focus on grassroots issues? Yeah. I was going to say go back to acting, but I don't even think that's a plausible resort. But yeah, I do think she should give it up. She's going to instantly be labeled. Oh, I'm thinking you're talking about somebody else. Stacey Abrams? No. I don't think she should give it up. I think she should stay on their necks. I just think it's not her time now, given the environment down there. But if she get enough counterparts in those seats around her, local municipalities, states, legislation, all of that good stuff, it'll better the pot for when it's her time. I do think she's suited to be a governor, though. Absolutely. But I think it needs to be more support, because a lot of her large swaths of support fell to the wayside. And I'm shocked that black men fell to the wayside on her as well. So yeah, I do. Wes is an alpha. Okay. Okay. I mean, so he knows about being first. He knows about the first, it makes sense. Now it makes even more sense. He knows about, all things being one. Let me stop. It's crazy. We in 2022 going into 2023 and still having first black to do things happening. Grand Rising Zaire, thank you for being here. Y'all hit that like button. People might disagree with me. I think they should have to work. You kill my loved one or fool with kids, you shouldn't get to lay around all day and look at TV like you on vacation on my tax dollars. Well, to a certain extent, I agree with you, but we have to define what slavery is and forced labor, because it's the difference between you telling me go do something that's harmful to my life, or that's me killing myself, versus mop the floor. Some of these prisoners have to manufacture, like work in sweatshops and do all these different things for minor sentences. We're not even talking about the most egregious. We're talking about some of the minor stuff, because that's how the prison works and generates revenue. So I do think it needs to be, because I feel like a lot of black people have been and are caught up in that. So that's why I said they need to define that. What is slavery and what is forced labor? And what isn't considered forced labor, you know? Um, but yeah, I understand what you mean. I do. I do. Good morning, Bobby. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Shout out to Bobby. Bobby, if they know you have to do hard labor when you commit violent crimes, trust me, there will be less crime. I hear you. Exactly, and send that compensation home to the babies. Wow, harassment. Y'all see it, right? Y'all see it, right? Harassment charges and $1,000 bond. Now, here's where I'm gonna show some tough love to that mayor. Your ass better be on this. They elected you as mayor for a reason. Now you're sitting in an example of something that you should be doing something about. A harassment charge. Next, you should be after those police officers in that city, or however that's my thing. Like a harassment charge, and you're the mayor. If this was anybody else, that man would be so far up under litigation. It makes no sense. That's assault, and he should lose his position. He should have been lost his position. Harassment charge. Absolutely a fucking harassment charge. And I'm like, wow, really? This is where we are now? So yeah, here's the black mayor. So he's the one that we saw on the camera, and that's the councilman. His name again is Wayman Newton, young guy, trying to serve his community. I just ask that you stay on it, Wayman. Stay the fuck on it. Stay persistent. You gotta keep your foot on their neck. Now let's get into our next story. This next story, and did I want to? Yeah. So this next story is so sad. So we have this 10-year-old who died by suicide. Now, this happened in Utah. And let me give you the story around this, right? Because this is a very, very sad story. So please, if you're triggered by, things like this, I have, come back in like 10 minutes, 10 minutes time. Okay. So this young girl was going to this school, and she had been, telling her folks that she is being bullied. She's being attacked. And so she had been taking Febreze out her mom's cabinet, air freshener and stuff, and taking it to school because the kids at school were saying she was stank. Now let's add one step further. The teachers at the school would tell the girl to sit in the back so that the kids wouldn't have to smell her. So she sat in the back of the classroom. Can you imagine at 10 years old, and this is how you feel? There's no social connection. You're not bonding, any of that. You're depressed, you're deflated, you have no ego, you have none of that stuff that you need to build at that tender age. Because when you go to school, you're being attacked not only by the kids, but by the school. So the mother finds out, the mother goes to the school to talk to them about it, like what's going on. So she first goes to the teacher blows her off, like, girl, you ain't talking to me. You ain't talking to me. I said, oh, bitches would have been, teeth would have been snatched. Who the fuck are you talking to? So the teacher said, you need to go talk to the principal. Well, she go talk to the principal. Guess the principal say, you ain't talking to me. You ain't talking to me, girl, going on about that. So she says, go talk to the vice principal. The vice principal was like, even worse. Listen, I don't have time for this. Go fill out a report for our bias incident team. She fills out a report, shit happens, nothing happens. So that happened in September. Well. Come to find out, it got worse for this girl on November 5th, which was last Saturday. The girl committed suicide. Now, the details of her suicide has not been released. Well, at least I don't know what it is. And I didn't want to know what it is because I didn't want to share all that stuff. But she committed suicide. Now, here's the kicker. Remember I said the whole show is about where were the signs? Bitch, the Department of Justice have been investigating this school for racism and bullying since July 2016. July 2019. They had already had reports that the school was harassing, bullying, being racist to kids. So they had investigating them on 2 specific incidents. They released the report. Now, all of a sudden, we got this whole motherfucking report, y'all. Here's the report by the Department of Justice, October 21st, 2021. They say that, yeah, the school is harassment of Black and Asian students. Now, this is 2021. And they list in this report a whole bunch of shit that they got to do. Now, let's fast forward to 2022. Now we find ourselves here. Where were the signs? Did the DOJ come in and inspect and do their fucking job? How you going to tell a school and label them, yes, you're in warning of getting your Title VII funding removed for discrimination towards a specific race? You have to do all these things and remain complicit for over the next 5 years. The fucking year later, a child commits suicide because of racism. Who's at fault besides the school? I need the Department of Justice to come the fuck forward. Are you kidding me? This mother has a lawsuit so thick on her fucking hands. You talk about the Department of Justice settle with the school. Fuck settling with the school. You got to settle with this mother now. There was a loss of life. You've already issued a report and said that they are in F. In this report, I said I was going to do this too. In this report, which is nuts, it lists that, Title VI, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, that they have been accused of violating. Here's the report if you all ever want to get a chance to look at it. In this report, it's so severe that they not only want the teachers trained, they want the principals and leadership retrained. And then we get a poor baby, 10-year-old little baby, commit suicide. This shit had me like, okay. And then y'all just get into this. I just get into this story.
We have breaking news from the Davis School District. An independent investigation finds no direct evidence that Izzy Teichner was bullied because of her race or disability.
Izzy is the 10-year-old student who died by suicide back in November. News specialist Matt Rascone joined us live now with more on what this new report reveals. Matt?
Yeah, guys, 10-year-old Izzy was a student here at Foxborough Elementary School last November when she took her own life at her home. Now, the investigation here looked at 2 allegations that staff and students at Foxborough bullied Izzy because of her race and or disability, and that school officials knew about the bullying but failed to respond.
The Davis School District initially defended its handling of the bullying allegations, but later launched an outside investigation. This independent investigative team found no direct evidence to support the allegation that Izzy was bullied because of her race or disability, though they acknowledged it's difficult to know the intent of bullying. They also learned that Izzy's mom reported to the school that she was bullied because of her hygiene. Investigators also found teachers and staff they interviewed did not know the district's definition of bullying. And the investigation found that the school failed to timely document reports of bullying, how the school intervened, and the school's communication to Izzy's family. The investigative team gave the district recommendations, including providing training to employees on how to identify and address bullying, diversity and equity training, trauma-informed and poverty training, and that Foxborough Elementary set clear rules for record keeping and reporting. The team says they made several attempts to talk to Izzy's mom and her attorney during the investigation, but that they would not talk.
The investigative team sent the report to the district on Tuesday. The district waited until tonight to release that report to the public. In a statement, the district said it is taking the report and the recommendations seriously. It also expressed condolences to the family of Izzy. We did reach out to the attorney for her family, and he said they have no comment. Guys.
All right, Matt Rascone live for us this evening.
Evening.
Unfucking believable. So here's what happens next for the school. They got that first warning back in 2021. Next, the DOJ issues a recommendation and a strike, meaning now you're not only under supervision, but now every situation or everything has to be not only reported to the school, but reported to us. So if you get a complaint of racism, then you have to report it to us, because now we're going to monitor how you deal with that situation. Bitch, wasn't that the warning? We had that. Somebody had to die. A child had to die for them now to be under this kind of supervision. Fuck that, mother. If you don't get you a good attorney, an attorney will know that, oh, you got money. I will take this just off of, baby. If I was a training attorney, I would take something like this. Lady, it's already documented. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing at all to worry about. And it's so sad that a little girl that age had to deal with that kind of trauma in school. Can you only imagine? Justice for that baby. They should be charged with child abuse and neglect. The teacher and the principal. 2019, oh mama sued at school in the whole district. That poor baby. It makes no sense. Good morning, M. Renee. Thank you for coming through. Yes, Miss Toby. In California, have them making license plates and they send model prisoners to fire camp. See, I think those are good things. They should be, close the school now. Exactly, Risa. Close the doors to the school. Back, baby, back, but take them to the bank. I would have cut a fool at that school, snatched my kid up out of there, and went to my local NAACP and city council and police. It's crazy. So sad. Justice is needed. Poor baby. Didn't know the definition of bullying. Now, if I walked up to you and just slapped the shit out of you because you was, and I started intimidating you, move, you'll be clear to, if I told you stank, bitch, go sit in the back of the classroom, you stay. If I said that to you, you know that's bullying, right? So what do you mean you don't know what the fuck the definition is of bullying? See, people, that's why I say people don't learn their lessons at the younger stages of their life. They get to this point. And then this point, you have to, it's harder to teach a bitch. Now you got to knock a hole in their head. Where was Child Protective Services? Where? My bad. No, I see. I already got it. So rest in peace to this young girl. Condolences to the family. Condolences completely to the family. Next story. Lyft driver. So this 17-year-old Lyft driver was hospitalized after jumping out of a moving Lyft. Says the driver made her scared. Now let's talk about this, right? Let's break it apart. Let's peel back the pieces. And again, I told you this show is called Where Were the Signs? Where this girl knew where all the fucking signs were. So this 17-year-old girl orders a Lyft. She gets in the Lyft. And just like anyone, that's why I do Uber Black. So I can tell you my preference is no conversation. Don't talk. Don't say shit to me. I really do be doing that. And if I could put it in the notes of a regular Lyft, we don't got to talk. You ain't got to say hi. I just be in that bitch. I put my AirPods on. Don't be listening to nothing. She gets in a Lyft. And the first thing the guy asks her is, do the male friends at your school hit on you? And she like, what? Where? Huh? And that was her first sign. So she caught that sign like, oh, okay. So then he locks the doors and rolls up the windows. And he pulls out this spray and starts spraying. And she's like, oh, I'm thinking maybe he's trying to get rid of the smoke smell. Well, she started to realize that as he's spraying and rolling the windows up, she started to feel a warm sensation in her body. And she gets the, like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? And so she reaches the door handle and he's like locking the door and shit. So she finally gets the door open and she just rolls out that bitch. Job. Now she rolls on the side of the road and he continues driving. Now he comes back and over her body, stands over her body, calls 911. And as the police is showing up, she then starts to open her eyes and realize that the man who just did this to her is standing over her, trying to evade police like he's a stand-in. Oh, what's going on? Oh my God. So then as she's standing there, she's like in concussion state. So he goes back to his car and drives off like nothing happens. This is the motherfucker. Shady and shoddy. Shady and motherfucking shoddy. So The police then try to contact the Uber driver through the Uber app. And you want to know how successful that was. Get into this. This girl was brave as fuck. Another brave black girl.
One Raleigh teenager on a ride home from work. The 17-year-old ended up in the ER here after jumping from a moving car. Isaiah Bowden making that desperate move after a Lyft driver's behavior made her suspicious. And we begin there on this Friday. I'm Amber Rapinta.
And I'm Joel Brown. Thanks for this. That teenager was on her way home from work when she says the Lyft driver sprayed something inside the car and she immediately started feeling weird. Cindy Bay, live along Fox Road in Northeast Raleigh, where this happened. Look, Cindy, she jumped out of that car. Definitely a brave decision.
Yeah, and it all happened so fast for Isaiah Bowden, who says that she blacked out after she opened the car door, only remembering where she landed and how she felt scared and was crying. Unfortunately, she's back at home recovering from her injuries from the fall. So no broken bones. And she says her suspicion first grew after she got in the Lyft and the driver made comments that made her uncomfortable, such as how she looks good and that he'd date her if she wasn't so young. She then describes how she felt after the driver sprayed something that she says made her dizzy and warm.
When I got in his car, it did smell like cigarettes. So when he sprayed one time, it was already like, oh, it no longer smells like that. But for you to keep spraying it, then roll your windows up, like, I know it's not about me being nervous or anything. I'm just like, I know how it made me feel. I was very scared, but then again, I was more so like, I'd rather get out of this car than, fall asleep in a car with this man and I don't really know.
And she did file a police report with Raleigh Police, who's looking into it. A Lyft spokesperson also told us that they are aware and have removed the driver. But that's not all. And what else they're doing is coming up new at 5. Reporting in Raleigh, Cindy Bay, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
Still speaking with
Completely unacceptable. Completely unfucking acceptable. And thank God this girl knew well enough to, I got to get out this situation. It didn't take her no time to see that, oh, you want some bullshit. You asking me questions like this and she's 17-year-old. Not only when they catch this motherfucker do they need to put all kind of charges. He's a predator, a sexual assault charge on this motherfucker. He needs to not drive ever. He needs to be registered as a sexual offender. All of that shit. Who knows the other females that he's driven? He's did this shit too. I go up the whole fucking list if I was her attorney. Girl, you got a case on your hand. I would sue Lyft for not examining these fucking drivers, for not checking. And it's, hey, I should, where was the safety button, bitch? If y'all, couldn't y'all tell something? Oh, well, I'm inept as a customer. I'm supposed to be provided a level of safety, and I wasn't. Poor girl, traumatic. All these scars on her face now. Now, she had to do what she had to do. I just sat there. I'm thinking like, damn, Roman, if you was in that situation, would you have opened the door? That took some kind of bravery to just open the door and just jump your ass out the car, because that could be deadly. So you already know what kind of height she was under. Go up, girl. Shout out to you for doing what the fuck you had to do to get yourself out of some bullshit. So where my bat? Where here we go. I will sue the fuck out of Lyft. Are you kidding me? What up, Spook TV Media? Good morning, good morning. What else are they doing? They gotta find the bastard first. That's the thing. That's crazy. Good thing she got, hey Miles, good thing she got out of there. I'm telling you. That's why I tell my girls, no matter where they are, mommy, daddies, or your brothers will come get you and take you where you need to go. And I don't think she even expected some shit like this to come at all. Thank God she reacted fast. I'm so grateful I'm able to transport my kids. Uber will be liable. Which I put, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So she absolutely has a case here. There's a definite case here. And I'm going to stay tuned to this story because I want to see if Lyft is going to respond the way they need to respond. Ain't no just you banned him from driving. No, bitch. I need you to ban him and give me a report on who else he's driven. Yeah, pull up user accounts. Because that's the only way y'all gonna make some real changes. If we tell y'all that y'all been explicit in allowing this man to be a pervert, who else acts just like him throughout the fucking app? I'm sure there are other people who identify just like him who've done the same fucking thing. So what are you going to do now to make it clear that this kind of behavior is not acceptable? I'm looking for that kind of shit. You ban him from the app. Okay. What about the other dude down the street who does the same shit? What you going to do to him now? Right. What's the criteria? Or do we have check-ins? Do y'all call customers back and ask them, how was your ride? Whoever, if they get complaints, have you been called? Do y'all check? Y'all gotta do better, a better job of stewarding your customers. Cause I'm telling you, this just don't happen on a one-time incident. This shit, I'm sure that guy's been harassing women for a while. He lucky he don't get his ass beat. I say that all the time. These men are so lucky they don't get their asses beat. They pulling it on these young girls and these people who are vulnerable. But you get the right person spraying some shit in the car and I'm getting warm, you damn near will get a blade on your neck. Like, bitch, what? Whoa, what the fuck got going on here? And that's just out of natural reflex. And the girl, she just jumped out the door. That's why I said, I don't know if I'm going to jump out the door, but given he looked like this, he would definitely have a slash in the back of his neck. Yeah. So that's the Lyft driver story. Shout out to this young girl for being so courageous. Now, let's get into this very, very sad story before we jump into our University of Kentucky. So, Deasia Johnson, this young Brooklyn woman, was killed and dismembered in her women's shelter. Now, let me explain this women's shelter. This women's shelter is something called Housing Plus. It's a federal grant given to states who then gives it to local municipalities to establish these shelters for these different populations. Well, Housing Plus of Brooklyn, because when I typed in Housing Plus, everybody's Housing Plus came up. Housing Plus of Brooklyn has different locations where they house their women in need of support. So Deasia Johnson, she needed that. She was a battered woman in a relationship she couldn't get out of. The guy she was dating would beat her up very badly outside in front of people. Didn't have a place to go, mother or father, so she had reached out to Housing Plus. Housing Plus is supposed to be there to give you support. You don't supposed to be scared that you're going to a shelter and they're not protecting you. So on August 21st, Deasia Johnson was getting off of work, and she was walking home, and she got home. That was the last time anybody saw her on any surveillance footage. The last time, right? Now, that was August 21st. On September 21st, Housing Plus decided to show up at this location and thank you. Aw, so sweet. Thank you. Shout out to the crew. So on that caught me off guard. On September 21st, Housing Plus decided to show up with their counselors and stuff. And on September 21st, after her job and several people reached out like, yo, we haven't heard from her. We don't know where she at. What's going on? They decided to do a visit to the home. Security walks up in the bitch after knocking on the door several times. And the murderer is sitting up in that bitch. Now, he had been sitting there a whole month. You mean to tell me you bitches wasn't doing checks that whole month? That he was coming in and out that whole month? And nobody said nothing? So they come in September 21st. Finally, the guys open the door and speed the fuck out. Run out that bitch with a bag. And security goes in. They go into the bathroom. And what do they find? They find Deasia Johnson dismembered. Some of her body inside of a briefcase. Some of it near a meat cleaver, all in a tub. Blood splattered everywhere. So they call the police. September 21st, they call the police. On October 1st is when they arrest this man. But they don't arrest him for her dismemberment or anything like that. They arrest him for some other shit. Now, police do this because sometimes they want to hold you. They just going to hold you. So they arrest him. So he's been sitting in jail all this time. Do you know on November 7th, which was 3 days ago, is when they finally indicted him for her murder. Oh, y'all didn't fucking know? We didn't know? Now, here's all the clues. Here's some evidence. All of the tenants on her floor have called the police because the man was beating her up in the hallway. Police would come, kick him out. She go back to her place. Of course she's scared. She's not following nothing. They do nothing to him. 2 days later, what happened? Same thing. One day, one neighbor said that he beat her so bad, she came back the next day on crutches and a neck brace. He had to open her door for her. The boyfriend was in the unit, wouldn't even open the door for her. Treated her like nothing. Now, this is all inside the fucking shelter. Oh my God, in Brooklyn. I'm sitting here thinking like, if you bitches don't close down, if you don't close the fuck down, fire somebody, you inept ass bitches. What do you mean? These people, these young girls, these folks need to be checked on. Y'all getting the federal dollars. Y'all getting all these grants, these monies. Y'all getting all these properties, making shelters out of them. And then you don't do no inspection. And then you got security letting this man come and go and you don't see the woman at all. What kind of dope dealing shit is that? So finally he's indicted. Now the man's indicted. And back to what I was saying. Where were the fucking signs? Where were the signs? Where were the signs? So I looked on the website of Housing Plus. Here's the Housing Plus model for Brooklyn. This is what they say they do. We believe that our tenants are better able to move forward in their lives if they are first housed and then have access to supportive services, including mental health therapy, substance abuse counseling, education referrals, employment support, and community connection. Using a trauma-informed, strength-based approach, our case managers, health and wellness counselor, employment services staff, and other support staff will work with women at our housing program to develop personalized goals towards achieving housing stability, economic self-sufficiency, and independent living. Where the fuck did we see any of that at in this story? Oh, bitch, if I was her family, y'all are next on the list. Fuck finding him. You indicted him. Okay, he's indicted. Great, because we know he ain't getting out. Who works there? Who was her house? Who was her case manager? Who was your supervisor? Which branch did you bitches work at? We need all these people on the line. This woman shouldn't have not been killed in her own housing shelter. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. For the life of me, I'm just sitting here like, damn, I couldn't even understand, in your own unit after the police being called several times. But the housing shelter with security at the front desk?
24-year-old
Get into
Justin
this.
Williams was silent Monday as this out of NYPD 75th Precinct Station House. He's charged with murdering his girlfriend and then dismembering her body inside her Linwood Avenue apartment in East New York, Brooklyn. Police say 22-year-old Deja Johnson came home to her apartment from work on August 21st and never left. Williams of Harlem is accused of fatally stabbing his girlfriend several times before he stuffed her body parts inside 2 suitcases. A month passed before neighbors called police on September 21st after they noticed a foul smell coming from her apartment. Investigators confirmed the couple had an extensive history of domestic violence.
She was quiet. She went to work every day in the morning.
Olivia says Deja Johnson was one of many domestic violence victims living in the building, where the social services provider Housing Plus offers supportive housing services. Olivia says the victims she knows say they often feel trapped by the rules and policies within the criminal justice system.
You have to stay here no matter what. And yeah, we have security, but if you walk down the block and you get into it with the guy you have a domestic violence situation with, he could punch you in the face and nothing is going to happen because you still live here. And she also had an order protection and he was still able to come into the building.
Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez released a statement on the case, which reads, quote, "While we can't erase the tragic and cruel death of Deja Johnson, we are fully committed to bringing this defendant to justice. I hope that this prosecution brings a measure of solace to Deja's family and friends." Williams is being held in custody. He's not due back in court until January. He'll be held until then.
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. As you hear somebody who lives there tell you that they're trapped in the whole fucking system. I can't believe that for a whole month this guy was coming and going as if he stayed there with security. And Risa, I saw your question. No, these are actually certified. They have to be certified shelters, so they can only house people that's under the Housing Plus program. Like they can't just go rent specific units of a building. This has to be a shelter because they have certain rules. Like you can't leave after 10 p.m. So it applies to everyone. You know what I mean? You can't just be a regular resident. So this was a really occupied, staffed housing facility in Brooklyn. That's what gets me with bars over their fucking windows. If you got enough nerve to put bars over your fucking windows, you should have more enough nerve to have a trained security who knows. First of all, you're a man. The fuck you coming in here for? What's up? See, it lets me know that there was some kind of undergoing backhanded. I'd like to know who the fucking security officers are. Who the fuck are y'all? What's going on here? It's just it's baffling to me that something like this could happen in the place that you consider to be safe. The nerve of him to answer the door. Hey, Brick Girl. Good morning, boo. And Chad, I'm so late. I have to rewind. Oh, you on time. Hey, Jernette. Good morning. Good morning. Shameful. Rochelle 200. So shameful. Nalisi Stormy. Good morning, boo. I hope you have an amazing weekend. You too. Be safe driving and listening till I get to my desk. Thank you. Zap. Good morning, Zap. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Shout out to Zap. In the shelter. In the shelter. He was living in the shelter, y'all. Had nerve enough with her body in there. And here's the getcha. So he was having friends and shit come in and out, in and out, in and out. Just chilling, parlaying. And he would just let them sign in. Here are the friends, y'all. So now they're looking for all of these friends right now publicly because they think they had a part in to do with this or they know what happened because they're on camera coming in and out. These are stills from them coming in and out of the shelter during this August 21st to September 21st period. I want to slap somebody. I really want to grab the security guards because I feel like they don't feel no remorse. Like they had no part to do with it. These bitches wasn't living in this housing facility, and y'all not nerve enough to tell me I can't leave after 10 p.m. But y'all let any kind of bitch roll up in here? Nah, hell no. Mm-mm. So they're looking for all these folks because he was just letting bitches in. He was partying, and he would keep the windows up so that it would air out. But when they would leave, let the windows down. The smell was all in the hallway. Are y'all nuts? Yeah. So Deasia Johnson, rest in peace, girl, and your family or whomever is connected to you. I just send my condolences. This was a very, very sucky and sad situation. Yes, she definitely wasn't supported at all. Was it in the park? Yeah. Yep. Women learn to use a weapon and keep one. Stashed all around your unit. Good morning. Good morning, Jay Parrish. Good morning. Have a great weekend on purpose. The fact that he was able to get into that building is wild. Me and you both, I don't know how they will let men in at all. I don't understand it. This is why I'm off from New York to Georgia. I'm late, but I'm here. Thank you. This is why I moved from New York to Georgia. Only thing I can think of, it wasn't just a women's shelter. I don't know how this man got up in there. This is sick. They usually don't let other people who do not live in a shelter in the building. That's what I was understanding. They don't, especially men. I've heard about women's shelter, especially men. They don't let men come in at all. You got to come outside. Even the daddies, if they have to be in a women's shelter, even the daddies can't come in. You got to come get the baby outside. Regular apartment buildings, I'm security here. Shit, what you mean? I'll be the first point. Why were non-shelter people allowed in there? Got a whole case. Miss Gerald, good morning. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being a member. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, y'all. All right. We got an hour. It's we did the whole first part of the show in an hour. Now we're going to get to the University of Kentucky. And before I do that, I just want to do a like check. I hope y'all hit the like button. I hope y'all are ready. I got my evidence. We about to break this shit down. University of Kentucky is on some bullshit. Shout out to Justice for Kyla. Shout out to her family. Shout out to Aisha. Shout out to everyone impacted by this story, surrounding this story. We about to break it fucking down. Okay, I need to take myself a little coffee break. King Roman, you will be surprised. I've heard so many stories regarding shelters, even domestic violence. These security guards will just keep. That's what it is. That's why I said it sounds like some bullshit. It sounds like some fucking bullshit. Her family really needs to continue with this investigation because it was complete neglect towards her. Complete. complete. And it's sad because I don't think she had a lot of family involved in this situation. Because I was looking at the criteria to be placed in a housing plus, and a lot of it had to do with having to list family members, or do you have another place, because it's temporary. So first you're housed for like 6 months, and then after that you have to find exit housing. Either they're helping you or you have family. And I don't think she had any family during this period of time because she had been there for a while. Good morning, my chat, man. Good morning. I take public transportation to and from work, and I'm out early in the morning, and you will never catch me without my blade and my pepper spray. That's because you part of the fucking crew. You already know how it gets down. All right, y'all. All right, all right, all right. I hope y'all hit that like button. I hope y'all hit that like button. I hope y'all hit that like button. Boom, boom, boom. That's so catchy to me. All right, now, so the last time we talked about Sophia Rosing, she left the court and her parents bonded her out for $10,000. We all know that her next court date is on Monday. And we're all gonna be around here to report about it. Baby, I want to know what the fuck's going on. And she had the condition she couldn't go back to Boyd Hall, couldn't drink alcohol, and I think what was the other one? She couldn't drink alcohol, couldn't go back to Boyd Hall. Oh, she had to stay away from Kyla. She had to stay away from Kyla. So those were the only things that she got. Now, here's the fucking funny thing, right? So then we get this. They permanently banned her from from the University of Kentucky. Now, when they said that they banned her, they listed this. They said, immediately we suspended her. Bitch, where? Where did you suspend her? You didn't. That girl was not immediately suspended. Or suspended where? So we knew that was a crock of bullshit. So after some pressure, now we have her banned. She's banned. So she's permanently banned from the University of Kentucky, which also does include online classes, any kind of registering for classes for anything at the school. This is their way of saying, we're done with her. All right, we're done. Issue over. And I said, y'all have a great way of just. So I started to get the typing. I said, now what? University of Kentucky, what's going on here? Well, come to find out, the University of Kentucky has a repeated history of these same very things. Now, before we get into this repeated history of what the University of Kentucky displays, the guy who was standing in the video of, when Sophia Rosing was getting arrested and he was standing there, that boy got so much heat, not only online, but on campus. You were complicit. You were helping her, getting looks and shit. I'm sure. This is what I tell people. You do the fucking crime, you act that fucking way, you get the consequences. Nigga, I would be looking at you funny. Like, I saw you in the video. You try that shit with me. Now, you're a man. You try that shit with me. I will ponytail and just beat your ass in the face. That's what I would do if I was at that age. So, you know what he does? He comes out here and cries a tune. I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you. I went back and watched that video. You linked up against the elevator all. So here's what he had to say. Get into this shit.
So if you all know about the Sophia Rosing situation, yes, I was there. Yes, so I had extra videos that nobody really has seen before after this. But I do want to say a few things beforehand. This is Sophia Rosing. This is Kayla. She's a front desk worker. Sophia Rosing came into the building, Boyd Hall, and started saying very vulgar, racist remarks to Kayla, and she also started assaulting her. I came in after this entire altercation, and I will just start from there. So right here, I'm talking to her. I'm trying to get anything out of her mouth other than the N-word. I've been trying for multiple minutes before this, and I had no luck. And I was very nice to her, for the only reason that multiple other people were being the opposite of that to her and trying to get her to stop being very aggressive towards her, which I usually would have responded to that. But I saw that she had zero reaction to that, and I was trying to be nice to her, which seemed to at least lower the volume of what she was saying. And I wasn't trying to be nice to her at all. I was just trying to get her to stop saying it, and it was very upsetting to me and obviously other people there, and I wanted her to stop. And I wouldn't have acted very nice to her unless I thought I would get her to stop. And I just want to say that I support Kayla in every single way, and I support everything she says, and I support every single movement that she's trying to push right now, because I don't think that this should be a thing about this girl right here who said some racist stuff. I think this should be about stopping racism from the start. I think this should be a thing where this situation shouldn't have been a thing in the first place.
A little too late for me, bruh. A little too late for me, bruh. I wasn't trying to be nice to her, but I was trying to be nice to her. You should have been outraged. She should have saw your look and been like, oh, one of people, someone's down with me looking that way. I really should try. You being nice to her, that was just gas. That was a battery. That was fire. You wasn't helping. I don't feel bad for you. The fuck? Now you want to come out here and you just look, you know, da. And I bet you they didn't take his video down. I bet you his video's still on TikTok. I bet you his side still gets out of here. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Then he released this other video showing other angles of her, just adding to what we were saying about the police, how they were complicit in Kyla just, not Kyla, in Sophia just sitting in the hallway. Check this one out.
But I will add that not other people have added is she wasn't taken out of the dorm whenever she was arrested. She was sat down in the dorm hall and questioned. And while she was being questioned, the only answer to all the cops' questions was the N-word. And she was still in the hall saying that while everybody was still there. This is her getting taken out by 2 cops because of what she did. And while she was being carried out by the 2 cops, she was still saying the N-word 10, maybe 15 minutes after she got originally handcuffed. Still saying it to everybody that was around there. And I just want to say that I think this should be a moment where we understand that this is not okay, and we need to make sure that this never happens again. Ever.
Because you stand up for the people now. Get your ass out of here. Go to class. Go to class and be nice how you was being nice to Sophia. That's what I want you to do. Go to class and stop trying to come up off of this situation. I don't want to hear it. You stood there. And so for your actions, you should be treated how you was standing there. Because if somebody was against that, they wouldn't be trying to be nice to her. I'd have been like, girl, what the fuck are you? You didn't give none of that. Had it been your people, your team being, treated that way, I'm sure you'd have had a different, get out of here. Fuck out of here. Don't care. We don't care. Don't care. Sorry. Woe is me. Fuck out of here. I'm sitting here looking like, I just could, ugh. So after I saw all of this stuff, I went digging. Do you know the University of Kentucky does receive Title VI funding, which means that they cannot discriminate? It's Title VI or Title VII. I'm either saying it wrong or it's Title VII. One of them is sexual harassment. One of them is discriminatory practices, race, all other kinds of things. And if you violate this over a period of time, the Department of Justice launches an investigation, like they're doing for that school where the 10-year-old girl, there was 2 incidents where the 10-year-old girl committed suicide. So, same thing. But unfortunately, the Department of Justice has not launched an investigation into the University of Kentucky. Now, I wonder if they don't have a nice, concise history of what the University of Kentucky protects on their campus. But King Roman is here to show them today. So let's talk about it. So back in 2006, they got this president on the campus. And the Black Student Advisory Council had a couple of things on their list for this man. And one of them was, you've got to remove this mural that's hanging up on the campus, because this mural is depicting black people as slaves and white people sitting above them. Exhibit A. Here's the mural. You see the black people underneath them, and you see all those white people? They literally had this hanging up on their campus. And for years, people have been trying to get them to take it down, dating back to 1970. It came on campus in 1930s. And 1970s is when people started saying, hey, y'all need to take this shit down. Nothing happened. So in 2006, people were like, yo, take it down. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in 2006. So then here we go. Here's the timeline of when it got taken down. So finally, after this Black Student Advisory Council in 2000, I think it was 2015, they decided, okay, we ain't gonna take it down. We'll just cover it up. So they covered the fucking mural up. Now they kept this mural covered up until June of 2020, and then they took the mural down after all of these complaints. So everybody on campus complained. So that was in 2006 when they first complained about it. Now in 2018, they had a lawsuit filed against them. And it was by a professor. Now, this professor, this is the lawsuit, Tanya Lindsay versus the Board of Trustees of the University of Kentucky. Now, this professor decided to sue the school because she felt like she was passed over a promotion for another white counterpart. And after doing careful review, the school decided to appeal and say, no, that's not the case. And she lost her case, this black the black professor, and she decided to go back to the court. Well, they decided to, okay, we'll give you the title. So she got the title, but it didn't mean anything. So once she has this title, one of her white counterparts says something like, hey, Coon, it's nice to see you. So she goes and tells this, Tanya goes and tells somebody else you're like, yo, she said this to me. Come to find out, it was her supervisor who said it to her. So the white counterpart she told said, hey, you should tell your supervisor. She goes and tells her supervisor. Her supervisor decides to demote her. So what do you think Tanya do? Launches this lawsuit, and it got dismissed. That same year, they then decided to launch this whole, we're going to start putting diversity in the school, to dismiss. We're done with it. So we heard nothing more of that case. Then in 2019, so that was 2006, 2018, then in 2019. So 2019, they had this big thing. A University of Kentucky student was investigated for saying niggas should die on their Snapchat, went viral on campus. Everybody saw it, laughed, thought it was funny and cute. So the school comes out and says, we don't condone this behavior. We're going to investigate. And so the first thing they do is they contacted university officials. This was the Black Student Union, because nobody was doing nothing as it's viral on campus. Black Student Union says, okay, we're going to do something. So they go to the organization, they contact the university officials about the photos, and we're told to file a complaint with the bias incident team. What? So they file a complaint with the bias incident team, and nothing happens. So during this same week, they decided to start a protest called, what was it called? Occupy University of Kentucky, a peaceful protest on campus that week addressing concerns of low income and minority students amongst the population. You know what the president does? Sends them an email, says, hey, we can talk about it. They go and talk about it. Snapchat situation done. Nothing happens to the girl. We don't hear about it ever again. It's gone and dismissed. So that was 2019. Now we get to 2020. Now in 2020, the University of Kentucky was playing Tennessee at the University of Kentucky in the Rupp Arena, and they was getting their ass spanked. They was up by 17 points, then they fell below 17 points. And so one of the University of Kentucky fans walked past. Now I got the video under my Twitter. You got to go to the likes. I didn't want to play the video. It's under the like. So if you scroll past under what I've been liking, you'll see the video. The fan decides to walk past a black Tennessee fan and says, "You nigga, fuck you nigga." What does University of Kentucky do? They ban her from all University of Kentucky events. Now, mind you, this is a mother of somebody who plays. We're done. So in that same vein, the Black Student Union was like, hold up, Sway. How y'all gonna just play us like that? So then they're like, y'all need to go further than that. The whole fucking Rupp Arena is racist. I said, oh shit. So the college Black Student Union told the school that they need to change the name of the Rupp Arena because the man who started the Rupp Arena, who is named after, who was the coach for their basketball team since 1976 to about 20 something, 30 years, I think it was, he only had one black NBA player. He was pretty much racist. And the students came together like, yo, part of our list of demands is y'all need to change the name of this fucking arena because of the history. And nobody wanted to do anything about it. They laughed it off like, no, this man is significant on our campus. This man is, we can't do nothing about that. So then they're saying that over his entire career, he signed just a single black player, beginning with his first season in 1930 through his retirement in 1972. Even in the segregated South, his record stands out from his peers in high-power college basketball. So now not only are they dealing with racist fans in the Rupp Arena, there's this sort of, we're in this Rupp Arena named after this Rupp coach who has this history of being racist towards black players. And you put that together with black players, black fans, racist arena, racist fans at the arena, racist students on Snapchat, a racist mural on campus, which took them how long for it to come down? You have Sophia Rosing on video. So then I said, well, what do people do if they're on campus if they need to get some resources or help? I said, University of Kentucky, let's see what you got. They got resources for every fucking thing. Look when I pull up this anti-racism and racial trauma. What do you see? Nothing. A whole fucking blank screen. Am I lying? Let me drop the link in the chat. Here's the link, you all. You go and tell me, am I lying? No level of resources. So it had me wondering, are they complicit in holding an environment full of racism, a culture of racism? This mural sat for how long on their campus? It's been complained about for how long? No wonder the girl came out feeling like they're not going to do nothing to me, because they don't do anything. In all of these issues, they literally next. And I tried to find whether the Department of Justice has investigated any claims of discriminatory practices or any type of that. None. Nobody's filed a complaint. Nobody said nothing. Nobody's done nothing to this school. And this is just another incident added to their list. This makes now 9 incidents that have risen to the occasion that even this was from TMZ. TMZ is covering it. So does Kyla Spring have a case? Absolutely. And she has a thorough case, considering she's a student employee. That employee means you're protected. Under the equal employee opportunity, you are protected, and your employer is not protecting you. And here are the different occasions where their level of protection has failed, and they should be held accountable. They should be held accountable, because this is going to get swept under the rug by a ban, and now we're done, and now we're here. And so I presented that all to you all because some of us are not familiar with the area. Some of us are not familiar with the school. And it's good to have a picture of what's really good at the school. What do they condone and what don't they condone? And clearly, they support this. You can see it in the culture. You have a mural hanging. I mean, they literally had this mural hanging up. And I'm sitting there thinking for the longest, no one felt like this was absolutely 2015, 2016. And then finally, this is what you do. You just cover it up. It's absolutely exhibit. It's exhibited in HR where you have employees who've been skipped over. And this is just one of many in that case. The woman brought up several different incidents where they've been practicing very, very much so discriminatory practices against employees. So hell yeah, she has a case. Hell yeah, the environment supports racism. I can only imagine now Black students on that campus and how they feel going into a class with a majority of white students and this situation just happened. Yeah, you should feel proud of how we handled it, but there's going to be a level of So if there's any time for this school to be under the DOJ investigation scrutiny, it's now before we get another case on our hands. And I'm dead ass serious. They're not going to stop. It's through their social media, Snapchat. It's through their courses. It's through all of that. Now, I'm not saying that the school is a bad school, but I'm saying they have a culture of race. There is definitely a culture of racism on that campus. Absolutely 100%. Hey, DKL. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, DKL. You too, Zaire. You too. You too. Kentucky is a racist state. They are a racist state. I absolutely agree. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Crazy. He sounded like he's sedated. He sounded like he was trying to. He sounded like somebody was about to get in that ass and he had to come out here and make a statement. This is why you should take it to the media and get it out so that other officials can see what's really happening. Only thing we are praised for in Kentucky is our ability to play sports, and that's it. One single black male basketball player. Chef Don Don, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think the professional athletes who attended Kentucky University should say something. I agree. This is why our HBCUs should be our primary choice and make the country take note, making our schools D1. And that's a whole nother conversation. That's so political. The only thing I've seen on that list is complicity. They want us to be complicit to what is going on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here we are with another situation. Thank God we was able to record it and get it out here. And for those students on that campus, my advice to you is start documenting, recording everything and putting it out there because it's people like me. I'm watching and recording and collecting. And it's definitely pervasive on that campus. Absolutely 100%. Absolutely. I can only imagine how something like this is now playing out on the campus. Because see, the ban makes them feel like we've done what we need to do. No, bitch, y'all haven't done enough. See, because you've done this, and this. I couldn't believe that in 2006 they started complaining about the mural. It didn't come down until 2000. I mean, it got covered up in 2016, and finally in 2020 it took it down. It lets you know the pattern of fighting this. Even the artist of the mural was mad that they took it down. No, if y'all take it down, I want it back, and they gave it back. So it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Good morning, Aisha. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm not complacency at all. You know, Baltimore, they have a lot. Don't get me started on Baltimore and their racist statues. Yeah, absolutely. So, keep your eyes open because that's why I really was talking about where were the signs? What are the signs? In all of our stories today, all we saw were signs. And even in this story with Sophia Rosing, she's just a sign. She's just another sign in all of this. And if we don't stop it and raise the red flag, it's going to be more signs. We're just going to pile signs up. No, here's another situation added to a list of situations. And they don't, it's just crazy how it's every year is something 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Now we 2022. Guaranteed something's happening next year. We got to raise the red flag. We got to make it viral. We got to let people know that it's just past a ban. They have been complicit. Just like that school with the 10-year-old girl having a suicide and they had those lists of things that they need to now do. University of Kentucky does need to do that. They need to form a whole coalition of a diversity panel. They need to, where people feel comfortable bringing their issues, and that panel is responsible for making sure it's heard and mitigated. Until that, I don't see any real change happening because, again, as we see, they sweep everything under the rug. They are good at sweeping it under the rug. They are good at just passing it. Now that we're informed on a lot of these things, because when you go and search them on Google, it's hard to pull up. They've smothered them. The mural thing is under a whole paywall. It's crazy. It's under a whole paywall. You have to pay for the article. And the fact that on their whole website, they have LGBT support services. They have all kinds of support services. But there's no support services for anti-racism and racial trauma. There's none listed on their website, at least. And I put the link in the chat for you all to go to that website to see. It's a whole blank screen. I said, oh, how convenient. But you send out, we don't condone this, we and this, that, and the third. But where are the resources? Where's the support? What really are you doing for Kyla right now? Besides, oh, we banned her. She can't come back here. Well, that's just not enough. I need to know that every student feels that this behavior is not tolerated at all. And I don't think that's enough to just ban her, given you always allow shit to happen. Let's start with this fucking Rupp Arena. Let's go there. See how really willing you really to break the mold. So it's going to be interesting to see what else comes from this, if they're going to do anything else. I don't think that the school feels any remorse to do anything. I do think some of the students on campus feel like, given how he's coming out here now, he's trying to put his 2 cents in, and it's like, a little too late, bro. You should have been saying all that shit while how you was having, we should have saw you on camera doing that. You was over there being nice to her. Fuck all of that. Don't want to hear it. Too late. I do think they have pressure on them now as students to right their wrongs. But shout out justice for Kyla Spring. I absolutely want justice for Kyla Spring. I want Sophia Rosing this alcohol abuse treatment. And I said that. I said they're going to send her to substance alcohol abuse. I said that on the last one. And it's not allegedly substance and alcohol abuse. It's also racism sensitivity training included in that, so that she can come back looking like an upstanding citizen. Girl, your life is forever on YouTube, on Google. You look up your name, you're going to always be remembered by this incident. And I'm happy about it. So yeah, shout out to Kyla Spring and her family. And definitely stay on it. Please stay on it. Please stay on the school. Even if it's writing a letter to the school saying, as the parents, we realize the situation has happened. What are the steps in detail, and including dates and times when you're going to execute this strategy that you're taking to combat racism and the culture of racism on your campus? Get it on paper. So that way, when something else happens, that paper trail now becomes the document that holds them to the wall. Like, okay, you said you was going to do this. So you can start building a case, because other than that, they're off. They're off the hook. The cement slabs in the old Lexington market used to hold slaves. Crazy. That is, and you see them too. You still see them in the road. Brother, I commend you for how you present your commentary. Great job. Rochelle, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll be really, really deeply touched by some of these stories. You gotta get out my head, King Roman. I still feel nothing is going to happen, because we as a culture don't have the stamina to keep fighting. And if we don't, we might, it's going to be like, is something else going to happen? Looking at, it's going to be something else. I'm telling you, it's going to be something else that comes in 2023. And we're going to be sitting here again like, y'all, here we go. Another University of Kentucky. From their fans showing up to the games, playing other players, telling them, fuck you, nigga. The video is under my Twitter. You got to check my like. I put it over there. Are you kidding me? So if your fans are comfortable saying that, what makes me think you're comfortable doing anything about it? You banned a mom from an arena. Was there a code of conduct released? No more sporting events for her. Okay, what does that mean about the campus? What about that? No, you go so far and do just enough. No, we need to get y'all ass. So yeah, definitely, if you haven't, roll back and look at some of the collective activity of University of Kentucky, and you'll see exactly what I was talking about. So thank you all for being here this morning. Um, Aisha, I would like to drop the link for you if you want to click the link and chit chat about it. But if not, that's fine. But I will red ball back when you can, and look at some of the history of University of Kentucky and how from 2006 they had an incident that didn't get sort of resolved until 2020. It took what is that? Don't make me 26 years for that situation to get settled. And then you have all of these spotty issues happening and occurring around the school. There's definitely a situation going on here. So I definitely say red ball it back. Take a look at it. And then all of the other folks I talked about today, Deasia Johnson and the girl in the lift, all of the black mayor, all of these stories are very much so incidents of why your vote matters, of why you always need to know where the signs are. You need to be paying attention to everything because shit happens all the time. This girl was leaving her job. I'm sure she already knew going home was going to be on some bullshit. She gets home and he attacks her. That's the craziest thing. And then they don't check on her until September 21st. Nah, we not investigating her boyfriend. We investigating Housing Plus. Because how many other women should feel protected there? Yeah. So check the live out. Um, who else did we talk about today? And the black mayor. Y'all already know. I don't even understand why y'all allow this shit to go on. Why is he still accountable? Why is he still a part of it? This is the second incident, and now he's punched the mayor in the face. Well, he got to run somebody over. If y'all don't get handle of this situation, get more vigilant. And that police officer, I'm watching you. Mm, you didn't. He didn't seem like he would be arrested the ways if a black person did the same thing. So yeah, that told a lot too. Um, we talked about the election updates. We're gonna stay tuned. At Georgia, December 6th, you need to get out and vote. Warnock needs you, or whomever you decide to vote for. Um, and yeah, just stay tuned. Thank y'all for being here. And hit the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all. Because when y'all hit the like button, it just shoots the video in the algorithm. It just pops it out there. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support. We will be doing a Wake and Breathe on Sunday. So just come through, crew, and moderators, because I want to shout out to the moderators. Thank y'all so much for holding me down. I think we got Risa, Joe here. Thank you for holding me down. I appreciate y'all. Y'all always make this a fun thing. It's a street called Rolling Road. They got the name from the Underground Railroad. It goes past the oldest church in Baltimore. It's still original. Ignorant. When Miss Parker said the thing she said about not letting her son attend and she lives there, I knew it had to be deep. Yeah. Deep racism. Wow. Deep racism. I'm my baby. Okay. So it's cool. Thank you, Miss Gerald. Thank you, Risa. Y'all hit the like button. Thank you all. All right, we about to get out. It's a good Friday. I'm feeling great. I'm about to do some work stuff. Get into my job a little bit. Great live, King Roman News. You too. Thank you, M. Renee. Have a great day. You too. And or whatever. Get into my day. I just want to shout y'all. I appreciate y'all support. I really do, y'all. I'm not dropping down everywhere right now because I don't want to be a no clout chasing, no that fake shit. All of a sudden now you popping out. Now I want to be very real how I always been. But when I tell y'all I'll be seeing y'all, baby, I'll be seeing y'all. And shout out to the crew. I genuinely appreciate it. Even if it's like calling me on some shit, I still appreciate the love and the way it's presented. So shout out to the crew for that. Thank you so much. I I'm gonna talk more about that on why everybody want to text me now? I'm like what? Shout out to the crew for that. And I'll be back. Why you want to text me now? You know that text message I made it home. I made it home safe. I made it home. Okay. I know you was watching. King Roman News. Thank you so much for exposing this, and I will share how all my family, please. And to the family, please know I got my eyes and ears to the ground. This school is probably not going to do nothing else. I'm sure of it. Queen Diva. Oh, have an awesome day and weekend. My bad. I know I'm all off subject. I just wanted to share that with you. Oh, wait. Zaire. Oh, no. Thank you. I love the history. Because when I'm riding around, I like to see stuff. No, you clout chasing. Drop down and say hi. I love seeing you in chat. No, I'll be like, I'm not finna do that. Because I was like, I know you be in my bushes. You gonna hit the link, and I was like, oh no, I'm about to do that. That's all. I'm riding away. I just want to chill, be my regular self with the crew. So I thank y'all for that. We about to roll out, and it's a Friday, and I want to play music, musica. So I'm gonna play a song on our way out. Y'all drop some crowns in the chat. I'll see y'all on Sunday. Y'all come through with the coffee and the good air. We're gonna light it up. Thank y'all for showing me some love. I love it. Keep showing up in them chats. I was about to drop down in Deanna's last night. She had me rolling about Wilson. Not, Tracy McGirl. Prayers for Kyla and your family, Aisha. Justice for Kyla. And shout out to Lady Nika for having that live the other day and bringing it to more people's attention. She got a bigger crowd than I do. So shout out to her for doing that, because we all got to share and talk about some other stuff and inform our people. As much as we beat them down, we need to build them up too. So I appreciate it. Have a good day, Jordan. You too. Y'all, Miss Toby, you too. Shout out to Miss Toby, my boo. I was looking at my members and longest members, and some of y'all have been in for a while. So we're going to talk about that on Sunday too. So shout out to y'all. I want y'all to have a great Friday and a great weekend. And let's rock out. Let's rock out. Will it play? Will it play? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, here we go. My baby just sleeping.
Bluetooth connected.
Did y'all hear it? Bluetooth connected. This new thing, it allows me to play music without having to play it loud in my place. Alright, y'all. Let's get out on a Friday. I want y'all to have a great, beautiful movie today. Take a shot. Make sure y'all hit that like button. And I will see y'all on the flip side. Come back through. Thank you so much. Celebrate every day like a birthday. Things come to those that wait up. But don't wait to jump in too long. Don't sleep, you gotta stay up. Don't sleep, you gotta stay up. Outstanding, so I stand out. More babes than a bath house. Top gun on my Tom Cruise. Life for keeps and I don't lose. You're more than love because it's cool as a breeze. So pick a poison, yeah, I got what you need. Nonchalant, got the green on rotation all night. We gon' keep it psychedelic like a cat. Better stem, catch a wave on us. Take a shot, make a friend, just enjoy the moment. This guy walking on his haters. Celebrate every day like a birthday. Things come to love and wait up. Don't wait to jump in too long. Don't sleep, you gotta stay up. Don't sleep, you gotta stay up. See past all the sudden preaching for concern. Ox City 805 Queen, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. What are you telling me? Pastor over there talking about politics? Are you over there telling me he over there really watching world news and local news and talking about it? Don't you do that. Ox City 805 Queen, you're not telling me that. And then talking about it up until a point, okay, I'm done talking about it. Let's get into the mess. Are you okay? So authentic up there. Shout out to Pastor J. Wilson. Do the damn thing. Say, we can make on Sunday. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Have an amazing Friday. You too. I hope you have a good Friday. Come on. With everything going on, I hope you do it. You and your family. Zach. Hey. Don't sleep. You gotta stay up. Hey, hey. I just be like, you know what? I ain't even. I feel like I said what I said. I don't have no, you know, it is what it is. And what got me the most was him issuing the threat saying, I'm going to wait till their season. Right now, I ain't got to clap back. I'm just going to wait for their season. Honey, my season is summer, winter, fall, spring, month, January, February. I'm always tuned in. I ain't getting caught off guard. I said, okay. But it's all, when I tell you, ain't nothing changing over here. Ain't nothing changing. That's why I didn't want to be like riding away from everything that's going on. Just want to lay back. Got the babes looking at me like it's dinner time. That don't mean I wasn't laughing at all these videos. Maybe I've been dying. I've been rolling. Yeah, LSA been killing my ass. You are so right. Oh, you're organic. Thank you. I hope you feel it. Feel the love. Feel the love. Mr. Carruthers, good morning. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And shout out to the crew. And until next time. Deuces. Deuces.